Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Madison, and today I'm going to show you how I moved about 1,200 miles with around 300-ish plants. I'm honestly not sure how many plants I have. There's a lot though. And yeah, like I said, we moved around 1,200 miles. And we just drove here. We drove from Colorado to Washington State, and we hit all the different types of weather that you could think of, like literally all the different types of weather that you could think of. It was crazy. And the plants did pretty well, I think. I've only unboxed one box of plants so far. It was just like with some of my most precious babies. I didn't film packing any of them up. It was honestly just like really emotional for me to pack all of them up. So I didn't film any of that. It wasn't pretty. You didn't need to see it. So I figured I would show you unpacking them so that you can kind of see how I packed them up. It's really nothing special, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys that it's not as scary if you guys need to move anytime soon. And you know, any distance, because over 1,000 miles of driving is a lot of driving, and it's a lot of distance for plants to go. So yeah, I'm gonna take you down. I'm at my parents' house right now in Washington State, and all of my stuff has been in their garage. Luckily with heaters on in there, so it's not been like crazy cold or anything. But yeah, all of my plants have been down in the garage for, I don't know, a few days now, and they've been packed up for a couple days or a few days before that. So they've been in box for about a week, and I think it's time we finally get down in there and see how they're looking. So I will take you down to the garage. It's really dark in there. There's not like tons of like bright light. So I will just kind of briefly show you what it all looks like down there. And then we'll just kind of bring up, you know, box by box, and I'll just unbox them all with you, I guess. I'm unboxing my own plants. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I am aware it's super dark down here, but yeah, so I've got the Monstera over here. There's some other stuff like back behind the Monstera, down in front, some plant stands and stuff. There's my big lemon lime heteroraceum over there that I'm gonna have to put somewhere. Ignore her right here. I have a couple of boxes of plants right here that I just like left open like that. And yeah, that was a plant stand I just need to put back together. Plants. This I just had like a top over. Yeah, and then everything in those boxes are plants with the exception of this tall one here. That is a, what is it? Oh, it's a grow tent. Hello. This big guy here, that he is in all of his glory. That is my Ikea cabinet. It traveled really well. Yeah, easy peasy. I will talk all about that later. If you guys want to hear about it, we've got plants. This is like a box of, or tote of plant supplies. All of these boxes over here are all plants, plants. Watch out, buddy. Okay. Hey, okay. So this is the first plant that I chose to bring up. I think it might be the heaviest because it is a pot within a pot. And I just really want to get him out of this wrapping. So this is what I did. So just so you know, the stake was already in this plant right here. I didn't put it in here for shipping or anything like that. And I don't think that I would have added it if it didn't already have it in there. I don't think it's fully necessary. I'm just gonna see if I can, I think I taped, so I did tape the, what's this called? I did tape the paper wrap to the ceramic pot here that this plant is in. So I'm just gonna get that tape off of there. Let me see if I can gently lift this up. And then you can see what plant this is and how it did. Okay. Put that over there. So let me kind of get you, I think you can kind of see what that is. Alrighty. So this is my philodendron bilietiae, and Oh, sweet girl. And from the looks of it, she did pretty darn well. She doesn't look too pissed off. The leaves look a little bit yellow, but I don't think it's much different from when we left, honestly. Maybe a little bit more yellowed, because I think there was a little bit of water in the pot that probably should have got dumped out. There's just like a tiny, tiny bit of water in this pot. But it's not bad. We are gonna lose like this little leaf right here. If you can see that, that guy is yellowing, and so is this one, but these are like the oldest leaves. So I'm really not too concerned. And these guys grow pretty quickly when they're happy. And we are just coming into spring and summer. So I think we'll have no issues with this guy as long as I can find him a nice spot. So yeah, I am gonna just, I'm gonna put him back in this pot and see if I can take out this other pot here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Nope. Oh no. So can you see? This is a pot. It's a pot in a pot. And we went over a lot of passes on the 1,200 plus mile drive, and the pressure and like all of my toiletry bottles of things totally changed. So I feel like, we have some weird pressure happening in here. And I'm honestly too scared to mess with this too much right now. So I'm just gonna take this back down to the garage for now, and we're gonna just deal with it later. Okay, this is officially box number 1. Billy was just plant number 1. This is box number 1. Let's pull this first plant out, or try to pull this first plant out. Oh, okay, so this one is one that was on a trellis, so I'm probably going to need to re-trellis him. But this is my Repotting Mat. It looks good. When I was packing it, I did, or not when I was packing it, was when I was de-trellising it, really. I knocked off this big old cutting. So I'm just gonna try to put this in, see if I can get the cutting out of here. First off, I don't really know what's happening here. Oh, ripped a leaf or two. The cutting looks pretty sad, as to be expected, because it just like detached itself and I just like tossed it in the box because I was like, I don't have time for this. So, yeah, it feels a little flimsy down here, but the rest of it feels pretty good. Like the node itself feels really good, or the stem, I guess. So yeah, although the leaves look really, really sad, I think I'm just gonna try sticking this guy in a glass of water or just some sort of water vessel. Maybe we'll need to go, we might need to go to like a thrift store or something and see if we can find like a cool, nice looking water vessel, so that we can have these propagating like maybe on the kitchen counter or something. I don't know, we'll see. But I haven't been to a thrift store in Washington in like, I don't know, 5-6 years, something like that. Long time. It's been a long time. So yeah, maybe we'll do that at some point this week or next. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of set this guy off to the side until I'm ready to put him into water. I think I might chop it and make it like 2 separate things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do something with this, but we'll have to do that like today because it looks really sad. But the rest of the plant actually looks pretty darn good. So yeah, I'm just going to probably hose it down in the shower just to get all of the travel dust off of it because it was just traveling open air. I didn't even tell you how we like really did it. We just got a what's it called? I got a U-Haul. I actually got upgraded. I can't remember the original size I was supposed to get, but the lights or something weren't working and it kept blowing a fuse. So we got upgraded for free to a larger size U-Haul, which worked out really nice. Because I mean, I didn't actually need all that space, but it was just nice to not have to worry about running out of space packing all of my plants. And yeah, I got upgraded to a 6x12 U-Haul, and we just like strapped everything down. I boxed up every plant that I could box up, as you'll see. And then, yeah, we just, well, I say we, Payson strapped it all up beautifully. And yeah, he did that all beautifully for me. So yeah, so far, box number 1 is looking really good. This next plant is a really sad, wonky, like cutting that I had potted up of Pyrethrin Verde. So you can see this little leaf here, and this guy, he's so sad. This leaf is a goner. The petiole just got like totally torn up because I think it was like caught in like the corner of a box right here, if you can see, like just right in there, and just got bent too many times. So not a big deal. He was going to be a goner soon anyway. So yeah, we're still doing pretty well. I think the next box I bring up is going to have to be my plant supplies box because I didn't put any saucers in with any of these pots. But I did do something to the bottom of the boxes. So hold on to the to the end of this box to see what I did. But yeah, I'm gonna need the saucers so that I just don't want to get like any of the carpet in here wet in case the plants are still wet. Because I did water everything. When did I water everything? I watered everything last probably like 3 or 4 days before I needed to pack everything up and we need to be out of there. Yeah, about 3 or 4 days. There are some exceptions with like some of the smaller plants and like my seedlings and stuff. They just dry out so quickly. So I did water those ones like the day before, some even the day of packing. So we'll see how those do once we get to it. So this guy here is my Philodendron Summer Glory, and he looks pretty darn good. Yeah, he looks really good, actually. Looks like he even popped out a new leaf. It's pretty small because he's been getting like little to no light. But yeah, he looks really good. We've got just some little yellowing, teeny tiny baby leaves. Looks like we broke one leaf off here. I'm not sure. I never actually saw the leaf. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Yeah. So we did lose one leaf here. Not bad at all. Oh, I've got a ton of plant Velcro in this box too. So I'll set that off to the side. Cool. But yeah, this looks really good and looks like it's working on another new leaf here. So yeah. Once again, very dirty, so I'm gonna have to like hose all of these off, or at least give them like a really, really good wipe down, because it looks like the Summer Glory at least seems like it's pretty well watered, and so did that Pariso Verde. So I don't really want to like hose them down, like hose the soil down quite yet. So we'll need to do something to clean these leaves off, at least for the ones that we're just riding open in the U-Haul, because yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a lot of schmutz on these leaves. Real schmutzy leaves going on here. But it looks beautiful. I'm really pleased with this box so far. And now that we're to the bottom of the box here, I can show you what I did. Let me get out our few dead things. So I just have 2 lost Summer Glory leaves. One was like just a little baby, so not a big deal at all. This one looks like was already yellowing. Also not a big deal, even if it wasn't. I'm totally prepared to have like 100% plant death, honestly. Like I have mentally prepared myself to lose all of my plants in the travel over here, because you know I just wanted to expect the worst so that I wasn't disappointed. I just put a trash bag. I didn't open the trash bag. I just kind of like stretched it out a little bit and then just kind of lined the boxes with the trash bag. That way they had kind of a plastic lining and I didn't have to worry about fitting the saucers in there with them. And it just made them all fit a little bit easier. I think a little bit more snug. And yeah, well, so far so good. So let's move on to the next box. Okay. So this is not a box, but it is a tote. So yeah, this is a tote of plants. You might be able to see here. I did just kind of, all the plants are in here are really tall. So I just kind of took some of this brown paper wrapping and just wrapped it around the top part of the tote, just to try to protect the foliage as much as possible from, you know, smashing up against the boxes or other plants or whatever. So yeah, let's see how well that worked. I do have one leaf poking out here. I'm not gonna lie, it does not look great, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm mentally prepared for the worst. So let me turn this around so you can see what I'm talking about by this leaf sticking out here. But it looks like this is a Pastazanum leaf. Beautiful big pasta leaf, but it's looking pretty rough. Let me see if I can hold her up here. See that? Yeah. Pretty sad looking. So, but I mean, still not terrible. And if I'm being honest, when I look down in there, I can see a Gloriosum leaf that has just been like perfectly protected. And it looks really happy. So let me just once again take the tape part off of here, because I did tape the wrapping just in a few spots. I didn't like go crazy, but I just taped it in a few spots around so that the paper hopefully didn't move too much. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I forgot I put some other plants in here. Okay, let's see how they're all doing. I'm going to pull out the smaller plants first. We'll see how good or bad it's all looking. I think this first one is a Melanochrysum that was in the grow tent previously, and it was on a really long plank. So I think I might just put it back on the plank for now until I'm ready to chop it, but I do think it's going to need to be chopped. Where is the base? Not think, it is going to need to be chopped. Oh, get that leaf off of there. So we definitely have some sad leaves at the base of the plant here. But overall, you know, it's really not looking bad. Those all look really happy still. These leaves looked like that when I put them in there. Honestly, this leaf looks like unfurled when it was in there. And it's actually working on another leaf. Do you see that? So that's awesome. I'm really pleased with how this traveled. And I did grab my tote. I didn't bring it like all the way up here, but I did grab a tote with all of my plant supplies in it so I could grab my saucers. So I'm just gonna set this aside. It's hot in here, so you might hear kids screaming and playing at the park here, so I apologize. But it's kind of cute, so yeah, I guess just enjoy. I don't think there's anything in here. This is just some paper that I added to kind of help cushion everything, it looks like. But I do have an anthurium in here, so let me try and get him out. Okay. Not bad. This is my Anthurium crystallinum. I'm gonna say like no ID. I'm not exactly sure what this guy is, but it's big and beautiful. It didn't look super great when I put it in there, but it's doing okay. This leaf looks like a little bit bent. You can see there it doesn't want to stay like flat, but all in all, it looks really good. And I think this growth point here might be activating. Do you see that? So yeah, once again, I am not mad at this. Not mad at all. Now, I'm sure I'm going to forget a ton of things about moving with all of these plants. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments for me down below. And maybe I'll do like a little Q&A or something about just moving with plants, traveling with the plants, and just how all of that went. But yeah, all in all, I would say so far at least, I think it went well. Traveling itself was smooth, like the whole drive was really smooth. I didn't drive most of it myself, which was really nice. Okay, let's see. Let me show you what I did here. Hopefully you can see. So I have my 3 crawling philodendron. So they just kind of fit in there pretty nicely. There's a little bit of extra space like on the side there, but that's where I had put that mic in. So Bro. Sorry, Looney, you're okay. Holy shit. Well, that was the loudest vehicle I think I've ever heard in my entire life. So let's continue on, shall we? Let me try and pull, what's this first one? I'm gonna try and pull this pasta out of here without pulling anything else. So we'll see if I can do that. Ooh, and this pasta's working on a new leaf. Hey. Oh, he looks very dry though. He is very dry. So, okay. Let's see. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna show you. There's the pasta. I feel like he looks okay. He's still very upright. He's not droopy at all. We have some yellowing around the edges. This is that leaf that like didn't look very good because he was poking out of the box. But honestly, I mean, I think all the other leaves look pretty darn good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and just set this guy aside, and we'll definitely be one of the first ones to get watered here once we're done. I swear to God, if it's not like a loud, ridiculous, silly vehicle, it's, no offense if you have one of those vehicles, but if it's not one of those, it's a freaking plane or a jet going by that is so ungodly loud. Okay, so our next one here is my Philodendron gloriosum. Let me just take a look. The leaves look okay. They don't look fantastic. There is a little growth point that is starting to work here. And he feels very well watered. He's super, super heavy. But yeah, so this is the newest leaf here. It was pretty small because it was in such a smaller pot before, but all the leaves actually look pretty good. There's the other two. Yeah, looks pretty good. So hopefully he will be okay with the new environment here. Set this guy off to the side. I'm just going to be like absolutely surrounded by plants here. Okay. So the last crawler in here, oof, we have a really sad tip here that I'll show you. You know, he wasn't looking great before the move. So as you can imagine, he really doesn't look great now, which is super unfortunate because this was such a big, beautiful plant. And now it really just looks like trash, which sucks. I might end up wanting to chop this plant up completely and just like completely restart it from node. Let me know what you guys think, but he just looks so bad. Okay, and he looked so good before. Oh, look at that. He looks terrible. There's this leaf. This is like honestly probably the best looking leaf, and it used to be what I would consider the worst looking leaf. Oh, and it's snapped. So there's that. Yeah, you see that? Hanging on by a thread. This super sad leaf. This guy, I guess, also doesn't look terrible, but not great. This guy, not great. And then this guy, which like, where are you even looking? So let me know what you think. He is working on a growth point here, potentially. So that's good. But yeah, Philodendron Plougmanii, so sad looking. Oi, oi, oi. I'm gonna go grab us some more plants. Okay, get on the bed. Get on the bed. Go. Okay. Oh. Okay. Wowza. Here's this next box. I can tell right off the bat that my Euphorbia did not travel well, which I'm not surprised. So let's just get into this little guy first and just see what the damage was, because this box was pretty freaking packed. Don't know if you can tell, but she's pretty stuffed in there. That's a lot of plant in that box. I know for sure I did lose like a jungle boogie leaf or two. I saw that, or one of those on the ground of the U-Haul when we were getting all the stuff out of it. But like I said, no big deal. I mean, honestly, so far, it's been pretty good. So, get this guy out of here. So for this guy, I honestly didn't like actually wrap up most of my plants. I didn't really worry about it for most of them. I just tried to kind of shove them all into boxes as like both neatly and packed as possible so that there just wasn't too much room. Sorry, I just want to fix this really quick. But just so that there wasn't too much room for the plants to be like jostling around in there, you know, amongst themselves. I'm gonna put some water in this pasta because it just is, I don't have much water in my water bottle. All right, well, hopefully he doesn't fall over. But okay, let's get back to this Euphorbia. So yeah, I just kind of wrapped him again in this like packing paper, I guess, and then just lightly taped it. So let me untape it. Let's see. And then I'm going to untape it here. I think I did. Did I wrap the base separately? I did. Oh, but I'm still tipping it over. Still shouldn't do that. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of unwrap it here. Oh, definitely lost a bunch of little leaves. They're all like falling off, which is definitely to be expected. Oh, wow. It's actually not like broken. I am shocked. Now watch me break it. Okay, let's see. I did a good job packing this plant, you guys. Not to toot my own horn, but I wrapped all that up, and then I also, let me show you, I wrapped the base of the plant too, just so that soil wasn't spilling out everywhere, because I had a feeling I was going to have to set this guy kind of cockeyed in the box. So yeah, it looks like it did a pretty good job. I'm not having too much actual soil spillage. It's just the little Euphorbia flowers. So unwrap this. I'm definitely going to need to get a little stake to keep this guy up, and he's definitely ready for watering as well. I am freaking shocked, you guys. It's definitely got like a bend in it right now, but check that out. So cute. Look at this little arm. I wish he would branch out a little bit more. I don't really know how to get him to do that, but maybe I'll set him outside for the summer and see how he does. But yeah, this is such a cool plant. This is the Euphorbia trigonometry. Hopefully it's recycling day soon here because we have a lot. All right, let's see. Take out this next little guy. This is my Monstera adansonii. Oh, he looks so sad. This is one that's for sure gonna get chopped and put in the prop box. I'm gonna wait for this leaf to unfurl if it unfurls, but he didn't look good when I put him in there, and this travel definitely did not help. But this is a, you can't tell right now, but it's a variegated Monstera adansonii. It is the Indonesian form. You can kind of see like the slightest bit of variegation at the top of this leaf here. But that's about it. You can tell though that the new leaf coming in, at least I can tell, that is going to be nicely variegated. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that does. This is another one that is definitely thirsty. You can see that soil's super dry. Oh, and I'm spilling soil. What is this? My alocasia something or other. My alocasia maharani. traveled like a beast. I'm not even surprised. Let me show you. A little tiny bit of yellowing that may have been there before our travels. This guy's just a little bit floppy and thirsty. It is the newest leaf though as well, so that probably has something to do with it. There's that guy. He looks really good. Really, really good. I have zero plan. I don't know if I said this already, but I have zero plan for like where any of these plants are gonna go. So we will just have to see. We'll have to see. I am at my parents' house right now. I'm not really sure how long I'm gonna be here. So I'm just gonna kind of get as comfortable as I possibly can, I guess. And just kind of take some time for myself, which I think is really important. And I'm really fortunate to be able to get to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna see where these plants are gonna fit. I might end up having to sell some plants that just will not fit anywhere if they're too big, which I guess will kind of give me some, you know, more good practice for selling plants, because that is what I would like to do in the future. So yeah, okay. My seedling trays behind me. I don't know if you can see them. Alrighty, so, oh, this stake is broken. Ah, let's see if I can get this out of here. Looks like I have a new something leaf. SP Columbia, which I think is called El Guapo now, which I think means handsome, which I love. Very fitting for that plant. But this guy, let's see here. This is the Jungle Boogie. And looks like we've pushed out a new leaf, which is really nice, a flower, and we're working on another new leaf. So she cannot be stopped. I did, like I said, I did lose, looks like just one leaf actually. Not bad at all. The stake rotted like in the soil. So that is a risk you take, with especially with like thinner pieces of wood, especially ones that are not treated as well. But yeah, that happened like right as I was packing. So I just kind of like shoved it deeper in there. So he does need a new stake. Let me get him down here. But here's the Jungle Boogie. Big beauty. This guy's fucking massive. Excuse my language. Yeah. Let me see if I can show you that leaf where he broke off. Just right here. No big deal. This, where are we? This is our newest leaf, looking really, really nice. And a beautiful flower. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that red color. Beautiful. Okay. Now the question is, where am I going to put him? Oofda. I feel like this video is going to be super long, so this might be a 2 or a 3-parter. We'll see how long. Okay, because I'm going to definitely need some breaks. So, oh, I hope that's not a sign of things to come. At the base of this pot, there are a couple of Hoya leaves that look like they were, well, one of them was yellowing, but one of them looked like it was perfectly healthy. So that's a bummer. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for that plant. But here's this guy. This is my Philodendron El Guapo. This is our second to newest leaf here. This guy, he was already yellowing down here, so that's like not from travel. This guy being so torn up is from travel, but you know, we'll just act like it's from nature. And then this guy looking really good. And then it put out this new leaf, which did get a little bit torn up. The color is just gorgeous though. I mean, not too torn up. It's not like physically torn. I think it's just kind of marked up, like right here. We'll see once it fully hardens and everything, but it's looking good. This guy does not want to stay up. I'm gonna flip you around. You're gonna get flipped, sucker. Oh, I have 2 other plants in here. I thought it was just the one. I'll pull this guy out. This is an Anthurium penetratiatum. Looking okay. Not too bad. I actually think there's a new growth point happening right down here. Do you see that? Looks like a little tiny hand coming out of there to me. And then we've got this little baby right here. This guy was starting to come out like right before the move. And I'm glad to see that he's doing all right. And then here are the other leaves. Looking really good, actually. This guy traveled well. He was like nestled in with the other plants really nicely. So no issues here. So this next one here is one of my favorites. I love this plant. It's so cool. So this is, out of here for you. This is my Hoya pubicalyx Super Silver Splash. And she is super splashy. And let's see if I shake it. Okay, so if I turn you around here, we have this kind of like sad section. You can tell this guy got affected by the cold and or the heat quite a bit. But I mean, all in all, it's not too bad. Let me kind of get off all the dead leaves and I'll put them in the pot for you. And that way you can kind of see for yourself. I have to dig at the base of the pot too here. Which, to be fair too, I do think this plant had quite a few dead leaves like at the base of the pot before the move. But that one little section was definitely hit by the weather that we had. Did I even tell you about the weather? Oh my God. So we hit going through like Utah or Wyoming and Utah and stuff. We hit like super crazy wind, like 40 plus mile an hour gusts, like crazy wind. We also had like ridiculous sideways rain where you can see it like skidding sideways across the pavement. It was wild. And then we like sleet and then some snow. We had a little bit of hail at one point. It was crazy. We had literally everything. We had freezing temperatures. Like one night it was like freezing temperatures, and then the next night it was like in the 60s or 70s. Like it was pretty hot, and during the day it was like in the 80s. So yeah, we kind of had it all as far as the weather goes. And yeah, I think just as long as the plants are like packaged pretty snug with one another, they're gonna do okay. I obviously think that if I were to have like really taken care to have like wrapped up each plant with the paper and everything and like make sure that the leaves weren't getting too smooshed within each other, that everything would have been probably damn near perfect. But you know, I was kind of in a hurry. I have a ton of plants. And, you know, we needed to be out by a certain day of our townhouse. And, you know, you don't want to pack up plants like too early. So I waited till like 2 days before we needed to be out of there, which maybe wasn't the best. I probably should have packed like a day earlier because we felt so rushed. I mean, most of my stuff is plants. So the house looked pretty much the same up until like 2 days before we got out of there. But there she is. I think I plucked off like pretty much all the dead / dying stuff, maybe except for this guy. He's still really hooked on there though, so I'm gonna leave him. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna set him just off to the side here. And I will show you all of the leaves. It's really not bad. Check it. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Okay. Next box. Okay. This one was heavy. So, this is another thing that's just in a big Tupperware tote. Like this. And it's got a bunch of, not a bunch, just a couple. I think, maybe 3 hanging plants, and I think some stuff that are some like water propagations that are just in like open water vessels. So that's why I put them in the plastic totes rather than even trying to risk it with the just with like the garbage bag lining in a cardboard box, you know what I mean? Like that just wasn't gonna work. So let's see. There's, I don't feel any water like spilled down there. And this guy looks really good. These are Pyrethrin Verde cuttings. Let me show you. This is our newest leaf. And yeah, I just had this kind of like tucked in the corner. I started by putting like the largest plants in the tote first, and then kind of smooshing the other plants along in there, just to kind of keep it all like a toiga. Oh, I've got a big old thing of cuttings here. These were all in my like really pretty kind of like test tubey propagation setup. And yeah, you can kind of tell because they're all kind of like in their little test tube shapes still. I don't know if you can tell, but I think that's really cool. So yeah, these are all looking really good. Looks like we have one dead leaf, but that honestly may have been on its way out already because we have a couple sad looking ones here. Just gonna pull that off. And yeah, overall, those look really good. Set that back over here. And I guess I'll set those leaves there. Okay, now I think I want to take out this big old philodendron Brazil that's right here next, but there's a ton of like just little dead crispies back here. So I'm just gonna pull all these out really quick and just put them in the tote. Try to make as little of a mess as possible for myself to have to clean up. So this guy I kind of draped like on top of itself. So let's see. Yeah, he's a really large plant. You know, I think this guy looks pretty good. This was one that I was like, I shouldn't bring this. I should sell this and get rid of it before I have to move. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it because it's so beautiful. It's just so lush, and like it was not like this when I bought it. So yeah, big, beautiful, giant philodendron Brazil. I'm gonna take this downstairs just really quick. So I totally forgot to film an outro for this, but I'm gonna have to cut this sucker into 2 parts here because it is so long. So keep your eyes peeled for part 2 of this in just a couple of days. But thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I never remind you guys anymore, but definitely hit that subscribe button if you have been watching my videos for a while and you just haven't hit that button yet, which I do all the time. I totally get it, but hit that subscribe button for me, and I will see you in the next video.